Hello, my friends. I am Professor Bortolotti, one of Johnny Fink's professors at the college he is attending here in Illinois. And he asked me to help you proofread this document. And since I could not open this document and make corrections directly in the document, I'm going to do this video for you, and I hope it helps. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I notice right here is that there is no comma needed right here after the word bricks. There are some fragment sentences in this section here, but since this is just an overview, I'm assuming your professor will not mind that. Right here, the font got a little bit small, so you might want to address that, and also a space is missing here between the sections. In this section, this should be a capital C right here, and I also noticed that the spacing in this section is a little bit different than the spacing in this section. You probably want to be more consistent. Let's see what else. Right here, you need to put a period after fridges and then a capital W on we. And then after this colon, where was it? Let me see here. Right here, there's no capital T there. No capital T after the colon. Okay, and right here, the word degree should be plural degrees. And this word right here should be cools, while also actively... No, never mind, that's correct. Cooling is correct. Okay, let's go. This page is perfect. This word here probably should be plural. It helps to create healthier and more aesthetically pleasing environments. So we'll add an S there. This next is a difference in our cultures. In this country, this usage here in this sentence is considered not politically correct. The sentence should probably read in American English: if users spend a lot of time at their desks, for example in home office, they can save a lot of energy. These days in America, using strictly the male pronoun is considered sexist. But I'm not sure what it's like in Germany, so that's a judgment call for you guys. Same thing here, that should be changed to them if you go ahead and change this to the American standard. I'm sorry, I misspoke before I said Germany. I meant Austria. My apologies. This is an example of how you switched a voice person. Up here you're using third person, and down here you switched to second person. And in American English, this switch is considered incorrect. So the way you'd fix this is by rewriting the sentence to stay in third person. Here's an example. Why pump energy in people's entire houses or flats if they always spend 8 hours a day around their desks? So just change everything to third person. Once again, this is the American English standard. It's a very complicated standard, even for American students to understand. But if you want to be correct, American English, change this all to third person. Here's another example of that switch. This is first person. This is second person. This is probably acceptable for your professor. If you want it, like I said, to be pure American English, then you need to change this to simple as: the system allows for an easy assembly and installation. By adding the word FOR, you change this to third person. So it's better than using second person. This usage here is considered non-standard usage in American English. This usage right here, if only there were, is correct. This is the perfect subjunctive case, and that's good writing right there. In American English, when we write anyway, numbers 0 through 10 are usually written out. 2 would be TWO, etc. This is a minor error. I'm sure your professor probably doesn't care, but if you want to be perfect, you should probably spell that out. Okay, right here, this should be singular. There is enough space, not are enough space. Space is a singular word. The verb should match. Singular, it would be is. This page doesn't read as scientific as the other pages. Also, the use of italics, combining that with regular standard font. I'm not sure why there's a switch over from italics to standard font. I'm not sure. But like I said, some of the language here seems a little bit too informal. Uh, like right here, that's awfully informal for a scientific proposal. So maybe whoever, Joaquin, needs to rewrite this and concentrate more on science than on uh, creativity. Sorry if that's, I'm honest. Now, if I'm honest, I'm telling you, this page probably needs a little bit of a tweak. In American and British English, we use before quoted words. In American English, we use double quote here and here. In British English, the Brits use a single quote here and here. This in American English and British English is a comma. You want to stick strictly with the proper American or English. This would be changed to a single quote, not a comma here. Same thing here. For here, as well as here, and here. If you want to be if you want this to be written in pure American or British English, using quote marks, not a comma as a quote mark. Everything else looks pretty good. I did notice, though, that in the other pages, these section headers were bolded. If you want to stay consistent, I'm assuming you probably want to bold these section headers as well. I'm not sure what your professor mandated, but just a suggestion. Here's an example of what I'm talking about, the double quotes here. This is the standard in American English. The Brits use a single quote, but I think for your needs, either one is correct, just not a comma. You need a space here before this section, and this sentence here, I think it needs to be rewritten. The assembly does not require any drilling, nor is it a complicated installation. This one word right here isn't going to make it. The assembly does not require any drilling, comma, nor is it a complicated installation. And you need a capital I on the word installed. Okay, there should be a comma here, and then a lowercase p, because this is a fragment. And I would normally let it slide, but you've built a complete sentence here, and you've tagged an incomplete sentence here. To fix that, like I said, put a comma here, and then a lowercase p there. Then you'll be perfect. And stay consistent with these quotation marks. You've got double quotation marks here, but you've got single quotation marks there. Just stay consistent. Like I said, this is the American standard, double, the single is the Brit standard. But either is acceptable. And like I said, I'm sure your professor probably doesn't care. I'm not sure, I can't speak for him or her. This page is pretty well written, just you have a little bit of a weird indent here. You might want to slide this back over to the left margin. I'm not supposed to try to create or correct any content. That's what Gianni said. But clearly there are sections missing here, and I'm sure you will get this up to speed. This also obviously is incomplete, but what is written here is perfectly written, as well as this. Yeah, this page it looks pretty good. I can't see any mistakes. Like I said, you're writing in fragment sentences here, but since this is an overview or an abstract of the project, I think fragment sentences are probably acceptable. The only thing I could find on this page is that you might want to check your paragraph spacing. I'm not sure what writing method you're using. If it's Microsoft Word, I'm not sure. But the spacing between the lines, for example, in this paragraph, looks different in this paragraph, in this paragraph, in this paragraph. The whole page probably needs to be reformatted in a standard spacing, which, like I said, I'm not sure what system you're using. If this weren't a PDF file, I'd be able to correct that for you, but I can't do it. Just check the spacing on this page. On this page, the only thing I guess I'm going to suggest is that stay consistent. Nowhere else on the other pages did anyone use the hyphen. So I don't know what your professor's directions are, but I noticed in the other sections they didn't use hyphens. Oh, there's a hyphen. So I guess same thing here. Stay consistent, hyphen or not the hyphen. That sounds like Shakespeare. Once again, you have a spacing issue here. This section needs to be moved down, so there's spacing between the sections. And once again, the issue of hyphens. Be consistent. I don't see any mistakes on this page, with the exception, once again, of these hyphens. Just stay consistent. Once again, an American, British English, spell out numbers 0 through 10, and also try to avoid the use of the word you. It's just gets confusing when you go second person here and then you use first person there. So try to stay in either first person or third person all the way through. And here, you need to change this wording, since most radiators, you don't need the word of, placed under a window, which allows you to look. That's correct. Just, it's this word you that is the error. Okay, capital A here, but everything else looks pretty good. Except for the word you. Ugh. And the word your. Try to change it to third person. It's better. Here's another you. Change it to third person if you can. Okay, I hope this helps. Let me know if you want me to look at anything else. I'd be glad to do it. I'm very, very fond of Gianni, and if he asks me a favor, I jump at the chance to do it for him. He's a really good guy. All right, good luck, and I hope to hear from you if you have any questions.